If I could only use one lens for my full frame, it would be this, the Nifty 50, the 50mm focal length on my full frame camera. Now I recently did this photo shoot. It was during golden hour and I was shooting with the Nifty 50 on a full frame camera, like you can see. I want to show you a little bit of how I create and the type of images that I was able to get. You know, maybe it might say help you to make a decision on the type of lens that you want to get for yourself. You know, I'm talking about the 50mm lens f1.8 on a full frame camera. You know, I like the Nifty 50 because it's an inexpensive lens. You know, it's 100 in US dollars basically. You can afford it. It's one of those investments that you have to make, you know. And if you want your images to start looking professional, you know, I mean, aren't you tired shooting with the kit lens? Yes. So you need this lens to create those beautiful, good-looking images. f1.8 is a good aperture for portraits because it's able to create sharp portrait images at the same time blur the background. And that's what you want, because you want your subject to be the star of the show. And you can achieve that if you have the Nifty 50 on a full frame camera, which is slightly different from using a crop sensor camera and you have the kit lens on it, because those lenses aperture starts from f4 or f5.6, and then it puts a lot into the frame. I mean, a lot is in focus in the frame, and that's not what you want. So if you want to up the game, if you want to up your level of photography, you want to use the f1.8. It's a beautiful lens that you can fit both on a full frame camera like the one that I'm using for this video that I did these photos with, or you can also put it on a crop sensor camera. It also works very well, you know, only that with the crop factor, it might then be not 50mm anymore on a crop sensor, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's talk a bit about the 50mm focal length. The 50mm focal length is close to how your eyes sees the world. This is one amazing thing about this lens, you know, how you see through the lens is close to how your eyes sees the world, if that makes sense. So then this is a middle ground, ground of focal length that is wonderful to own and both use, because this means that with a 50mm you are able to do all the other category or all the other types of photography. Now, be it you're doing portraits, you're doing newborn, you're doing food photography, you're doing landscape, you know, you're doing micro, you are able to execute with this lens, because this lens has the focal that is close to what your eyes can see. Just be mindful of how you use it. You can't be on one position every time when you are doing your photos. You have to move a lot. You have to move in, meaning you have to zoom with your feet. You have to move in and then move out. You have to learn how to frame your shots the right way. You have to learn the importance of what composition is. You have to compose your images in the right way if you want to create stunning, beautiful, good looking images. Yes, put that 50mm focal length onto your full frame and then see the type of magic that you're able to create. Another another benefit is the fact that it's f1.8. Again, with a kit lens like this, in low light, it's very difficult for you to capture wonderful images, even if you crank up the ISO, because this image, starts at f4, f4 basically, whereas this one is starting at f1.8, meaning this lens is able to bring in more light. So in low light situations, this lens is able to help you capture wonderful images with enough light, without your images looking grainy and low quality. That is why you want to have this lens in situations where you are shooting in dark, low light situations. This happens a lot, man. If you're shooting for other people, like clients, they invite you to a location that you are unfamiliar of, you do not know, and they ask you to shoot late in the evening when light is out, so they ask you to stay behind and shoot late in the early evenings where the sun is already down. But with this lens, you are able to create wonderful images even in low light. Now, tip number 4, I want to talk about being mindful and just using backgrounds wisely. Now, with the 50mm f1.8, you are able to execute and get away with it because the aperture is f1.8, and then you can blur the background basically, because on a very busy street you are able to focus in on your subject and blur the background, then your frame is not scattered. The focus is only on your subject, thereby allowing you to create a wonderful portrait, So you use that f1.8 or maybe f2.8 if you want more detail in the face of the subject that you are photographing, and then you just blur the background, because sometimes the background can make or break your image. The background can break or make your image. So when shooting portraits with this type of lens, you are able to blur the background. In most cases, every time you blur the background, it's a win for you. So challenge yourself, give yourself this challenge where you shoot with this lens for at least a whole month. I'm on a challenge where I'm using this lens this whole year. You give yourself time with the lens, basically get to learn, understand it before you move on to other focal lenses, because I feel like this one is more important. This is the one that you want to understand first before you keep it moving. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you liked, what you appreciated in this video. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I see you in my next video.
Let's go.